Have you ever felt the world's uprise? News chaos, uncertainty, instability, and your mind immediately spins into worst case scenarios? Thoughts loop, body tenses as if disaster is already unfolding. And for neurodivergent brains, this isn't us overreacting, it's hyper pattern recognition kicking into survival overdrive. Hi, I'm Rachel from the Divinedistraction, and if global or personal uncertainty sends your brain into predictive catastrophe mode, creating pre-trauma symptoms for events that haven't happened, I promise you, you are seen here. This space blends deep neuroscience with scripture for gentle, compassionate reframes. No, just stop worrying. Just validation and tools. When the world feels an uprise, instability everywhere, your pattern recognition goes into hyperdrive. Neurodivergent brains excel at this, spotting connections, predicting outcomes from subtle cues. It's a superpower for creativity, insight, and problem solving. But in uncertainty, it flips. The brain scans for threats, generating worst case predictions to avoid surprise pain. This is catastrophizing, a survival mechanism where the mind treats uncertainty as imminent danger. You feel a racing heart, dread, tension, not because disaster is actually here, but because your brain is pre-living it. Neurodivergent minds, we are world-class pattern recognizers, which leads us to hyperprediction. The brain often creates false positives, disaster scenarios, and mere uncertainty. The prefrontal cortex tries to solve non-existent futures, triggering a pre-trauma state. Physical symptoms like racing thoughts, somatic anxiety, as if the event is happening now. It's anticipatory anxiety, wired for safety. Meaning, neurodivergent brains often process uncertainty with amplified vigilance. Bottom-up detail focus plus top-down pattern seeking creates vivid, looping predictions. And chronic exposure to real instability, whether it's personal or global, reinforces it, making the brain default to prepare for the worst. Understanding this lets us respond kindly. Thank you, brain, for the data and the protection, but we're not in that scenario right now. Awareness interrupts shame and opens space for regulation. Let's anchor you in the now. Look around your space. Name 3 things that feel unshakable. A solid wall, a heavy table, the firm floor beneath you. Pause and feel that stability. Touch if you can. These are constants in your present. They hold steady while thoughts spin. This is your now, grounded, real, not the predicted future. Breathe into that unshakable presence. Here's the divine reframe from Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. This was originally spoken to Babylonian exiles facing decades of uncertainty and hardship. This promise wasn't a quick fix schedule, but God's sovereign assurance. He holds their future with good intent, welfare, hope, and restoration, no matter the exile's chaos. God's plans prevail. For the neurodivergent mind, this reframes powerfully. God's plan is not a rigid timetable, which we often put our life onto. You can miss due to glitches, overwhelm, or catastrophizing. It's a promise woven by a perfect architect who doesn't make mistakes with the threads of your life. Your hyper-predictive brain may spin disasters, but your future is secure in the weaver who sees the full pattern, beyond uncertainty, beyond false positives. Anxiety doesn't dictate the outcome. He does. Hope and future are held. They're not fragile. Here we can honor both the science, as your brain's pattern recognition is trying to predict and protect, lowering anxiety through preparation, even if it creates pre-trauma loops. And the faith states, the future is already occupied by a loving God who knows and plans peace for you. The architect holds what your mind often fears losing. Release the need to pre-solve every uncertainty, your core. Release the need to pre-solve every uncertainty. Your core is safe in his design. This doesn't erase the loops overnight, but it shifts perspective. Catastrophizing is data, not your destiny. God's promise is the anchor when predictions spiral. You are allowed to thank your brain for trying, then rest in the one who already knows your future isn't defined by worst-case simulations. It's secured by hope. Your predictive mind is a gift, even when loud. And you're not at the mercy of predictions. You're held by the plans of hope. The future is secure. May gentleness meet you today in the uprise, in the loops, your body and your faith. Go gently. I will see you again.